Okay, so let's dive into what's happening in India's tech scene because it is going through this massive transformation. And AI is right at the heart of it, completely rewriting the rules and making all the old predictions look, well, kind of outdated. You've got experts like Bessemer Venture Partners who are basically saying their old forecasts are obsolete. They had this prediction of a $50 billion market, and now that's looking like a serious underestimate. Yeah, you are seeing that right. 3 times the revenue by 2030. And the engine behind this incredible leap? It's pretty much all artificial intelligence. So this isn't just about simple growth. It's a fundamental change in India's position in the global tech world. So the big question is, right, what is actually powering this incredible explosion of growth and innovation for the region's cloud economy? Let's dig into the forces behind it. To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to look at 5 key trends that are shaping everything. The move to what's called IndAI, the boom in AI-powered services, the crucial need for a national cyber shield, how software is creating new wealth, and finally, the arrival of the smart factory. All right, first up is this huge transition. We're seeing traditional software as a service, or SaaS, morphing into something totally new. People are calling it IndAI SaaS, which is basically a new generation of AI-native software built for this new era. And believe me, this isn't some far-off future thing. It's happening right now. A staggering 90% of early-stage software startups in India have already launched at least one AI feature just in the last year. And we're not just talking about a few bells and whistles here. This is a deep, fundamental shift. Over 60% of the established SaaS companies are making the switch, which means they're completely rethinking their business models and how they deliver value. Okay, that brings us to our second big trend. Let's talk about how AI is completely shaking up India's massive global services market, an industry that's been a pillar of its economy for decades. And here's where it gets really interesting. Just look at the profitability. These new AI-first service companies are achieving gross margins that are pretty much the same as pure software companies. We're talking nearly double the efficiency of the old model. This new model is a total game changer, and it really works in 3 ways. First, clients pay for results, not just the hours people put in. Second, you still have human oversight, which blends AI's power with human judgment to keep things accurate. And third, AI handles all the repetitive stuff, which frees up people to focus on creative, high-level problem solving. It's just a smarter way to work. Now, you know what happens when things move this fast, right? All this incredible innovation. Well, it also opens up new vulnerabilities. And that leads us to our third trend, the urgent race to build India's cyber shield. And the scale of this threat, it's just massive. To put it in perspective, in 2022 alone, India dealt with 1.4 million cyber incidents. That's a 7-fold jump. 7! In just 4 years. So what does that mean? It means cybersecurity just rocketed to the top of every company's priority list. It's not a luxury anymore. It's absolutely essential for survival. And what's fueling this cybersecurity boom? Well, it's kind of this perfect storm. You've got a growing pool of local talent, companies are throwing more money at the problem, you've got scary new AI-driven threats like deepfakes, and the government is cracking down with new data protection laws. So with a threat this big, what's the actual price tag? What could all these data breaches really cost the economy? We're looking at $100 billion. Let that sink in. $100 billion in potential losses every single year. That alone is creating this massive, urgent market for cyber defense and insurance within the country. All right, moving on to our fourth trend. We've talked about protecting wealth, but what about actually creating it? Let's see how software is doing just that for a whole new generation. I mean, just look at this. In only 3 years, the number of online brokerage accounts nearly tripled. That's a huge signal that people are diving into digital finance and investing like never before. But here's the really wild part. Right now, only 5% of household wealth in India is in stocks and equities. That is an incredibly small number compared to a lot of other places, which means the room for growth here is just enormous. And for our final trend, let's go somewhere you might not expect to see this AI revolution in full swing, the factory floor. Digital transformation is finally here, and it's making a huge impact. Yeah, thanks to government initiatives and new global regulations, factories are getting a serious AI upgrade. We're talking about things like AI vision systems that spot defects way better than the human eye, platforms that can predict safety risks for workers in real time, and software that optimizes the entire production line. So when you pull it all together, right, you've got these five powerful forces: the switch to iAdvance, smarter services, a stronger cyber shield, new ways to create wealth, and the smart factory, all working together to build a more secure, more intelligent, and completely transformed Indian economy. But look, this isn't just an Indian story. This is a global one. We're watching the rise of a totally new kind of tech powerhouse, one that's using AI in ways we'll all feel around the world. And that leaves us with a huge question. As this transformation really takes hold, how is it going to reshape our world?